Hello and welcome to the Summernats podcast, the official show of the world's wildest car festival. My name's Jay Benz and I'm joined by my mate, Owen Webb. What's happening, mate?
Plenty happening, mate. Had another good week. I'm actually starting to enjoy this, not having to work every day. I think it's absolutely awesome. And other than that, I actually almost got enough money again to buy Virgin, but not quite, so I'm waiting some help from you.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt me that you could buy an airline company, mate. You've been,
No, not quite.
So what else has been happening? Just working on your car much?
Yeah, a little bit this week, and obviously we got a whole lot of stuff coming up. I've been putting together some interviews from some of the best car builders in the US, which will be coming up in the future. So really enjoying that as well. Yeah,
you were saying you've been working really hard on that. There should be some really, really good exclusive content for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to really knock it out of the park with those guys.
Yeah, awesome. Make sure you guys get busy in the comments early for a chance to win some Summernats season passes and a Street Machine merch pack, which will be given away by Marv's after his epic rant. Winners will be chosen from the YouTube comments, so get busy commenting in there. All right, tonight we've got a proper mad show for you. First off the rank is Jesse, a.k.a. TheRealShookOn3, who was a Twitch sensation and was at this year's Summernats live streaming from the event. Then we have Mark Trueno, who is the owner of one of the biggest social media car communities around. And then we have Burnout Video Royalty, I should say, and Burnout Royalty, Flinty 460. And then we have tyre smasher Mick Brasher. Also,
I like that.
It's going to be. I'm so pumped, mate. I've got electricity going through my hands. Can't control the mouse doing the podcast. There we go. At the end of the show, we've got some exciting details also about an update for the latest Burnout Masters game. So hang around for that. But right now, we're going to cut to a skid break, and we'll be back soon.
Skid ad.
This skid ad is brought to you by K&N. Smoke 'em up. All right, welcome back after that mad skid break with Wayne Harris's Off Tap. We are here with Twitch sensation, TheRealShookOn3. Jesse, what's happening, mate?
Just another day in paradise, mate. How's it going, you dog?
Good, brother. Whereabouts are you? Where are you coming from tonight?
I'm in Tugum, on a creek, with some rental house in a creek in Tugum, like 30 minutes north of Harvey Bay, I think.
Yeah, mad. If you don't mind, I'm just going to give the audience a bit of a background on you from the crazy research that I've done. Right. You're from Omaha, Nebraska, USA, but now you travel the world streaming various types of content, from fishing to partying to big events to Summernats to everything in between. Tell us, how did that all come about, and what's life now like that it's taken off?
I started doing music on Twitch, and I met a bloke from Australia through my Twitch streams. And I just wanted something different. And my mate was just like, from Harvey Bay, was like, just come with me. I had like $1,500 in my account at the time. I was super broke. And he's like, I spent my last $1,200 and I bought a plane ticket just to come to Australia. And he's like, come stay with me. If you want to stay for a month, that's fine. If you like it, you can stay for 6. And this is my 3rd year back now. So, and then I started making videos. Well, instead of music, I started crabbing and fishing because I've always liked fishing. But Australia is way different. Like, like the real deal when it comes to outdoorsman stuff. So I'm hooked on it. And then I met Mark, and everyone from Summernats got into Summernats, and now I'm into the car stuff. So it's just been one thing after another, just following the breadcrumbs, mate.
Yeah. I know that your community means a lot to you, obviously. You call them Mod City, right? You want to tell us about those guys?
Well, there's so much to me. I got it tatted on my hand. I don't know if you can see that.
There you go.
Everyday life. It's just
awesome.
It's just it's a big group of rowdy blokes that all have this good time. The average age is over 30. Like everyone's just there to have a good time, and they all just make fun of me on everything I mess up, like because I mess up stuff all the time. It's like if you visualize like an online forum message board, but instead there's like a live video where everyone can make fun of, like watching a TV show where someone messes up all the time, and you can make fun of that person, and that person can respond to you. It's like that. So it's a pretty chill vibe, but we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember you saying it. Someone next to someone that didn't know what you'd done, and then they were blown away. You telling them that you stream for like 10, 12, 15 hours sometimes. Like it's full on.
Yeah, my average. It depends on where I'm at, but like here I go about 14 hours a day out here.
Yeah,
just from the tide. I got a boat out here now, so I can go fishing and then crabbing and then hang out, drink some beers, get on some Great Northern, fishing again when the tide comes in, throw the cast net a little bit. Just that Australian lifestyle. I love it, man.
Yeah, I've seen you living it up on Fraser Island just recently too, in some crazy weather as well. That must have been a bit of fun, right?
Yeah, the first 14 days there was like what do you guys call it? You guys call it a cyclone. I think we call it a hurricane in the States.
Yeah, cyclone. Yeah,
cyclone off the coast. And the first 14 days, I was literally just rebuilding my gazebos and everything, just water off. And then after I waited for the weather to get clear, and then after that I got kicked off the island because of the Corona, COVID, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I did check up on you when there was a bit of a storm once, and I thought it was going to be like Mary Poppins. You're going to blow away holding one of the poles, something like that.
It's like 60 km/h winds out there, so it gets pretty feisty on that east side of Fraser.
I see you've got the Survivor set going there, mate, with the flame in the background, obviously.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that, mate.
Tell us how. Say again.
Keeps the bugs away. Citronella oil. It's a cream of the crop out here in the mangroves.
Yeah, you really couldn't be without it in Australia, I guess. How did you hear about Summernats the first time? Like, who mentioned it to you?
I think it was Mark. I've known Mark for a couple of years now, and I go to some different events with him.
Mark from StreetFX, obviously, that is, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Mark from StreetFX. And he just mentioned it and was like, "You want to come?" I was like, "Sure," and I came, and I had the absolute best time of my life, because it's like I don't go to a bunch of car events in the States, but I grew up. My dad had a 1965 fastback Mustang he gave to me when I was 18. I graduated. So like, my dad's into muscle cars. I know all about American muscle, and then I come to Australia, and there's all these cars I've never seen, and everyone's just doing skids, and they're like, "Send it, you see word," and I'm like, "Man, this is awesome. Like, this is where I want to be." Everyone's on like the fence, and I just like skid row, man. After the first day, I had this picture with Mark Boxer, like before I think Adrian or him got me in the pit, and my whole face looked like I was a coal miner, and I was like, it was crazy. Was, like, hottest day ever in Adelaide, and then just inhaling rubber from the tires and getting burned by methanol. I mean, and it was unreal, man.
Living life.
Yeah, and then the thing I loved about Summernats was the community, like the atmosphere. Like, everyone's just there to have a good time. Like, you might have an awesome car, you might have a crappy car, but everyone's just there to do the same thing, just like do skids, drink a little, and then party at nighttime with you guys' live performances. That was awesome. I've never been anything like that before. I don't think they have anything like that in the States. Yeah,
and you were streaming long hours there too. I know that you were everywhere in the event. Like, I remember seeing you like literally walking everywhere, covering the whole lot.
I did over 40 hours in 3 days. I couldn't stop. It was good.
Yeah, too good. I remember you went on the Burnout pad too. You want to tell us about that experience?
First time I went with a homie named Jay. He had that blue, I don't know what it was. It looked like a little baby semi truck.
Yeah.
And it did crazy donuts. And that was like the whip, and that was just like a roller coaster ride. And I was just mind blown from that. And then I got in with Debbie Gray.
Yeah.
Peter and Debbie. I got in that Camaro, and that was like a $5,000 thrill ride. You pay at a theme park to get in. It was everything just went black. I saw smoke, and I was like, "Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Oh, please don't die!"
I watched the video.
That was wild, man. What an experience I had. I when I go back to the States, I'll be definitely telling a lot of people about it. And I know the people that watch the stream were like, "What the heck? This is crazy." It's like there's nothing like that where I'm from. So
it's definitely
it was a very eye-opening experience.
And it's the best party on earth. What can I say? Yeah.
Well, and then we met other couple guys.
We did. We shared a beer and watched Shannon Nolan Airborne. It was great. What a band, eh?
Like 2 beers, we'll call it that.
I was going to say to you, so how did your audience take it too? Like they seemed pretty responsive to the Summernats.
It was 99.9%. Oh my God, this is awesome! And then you get the point. Oh, when forming happens, and I was like, I just laughed. That's everywhere though. Like, it was just there was a lot of car enthusiasts in there. I just said I think that's funny that people get upset about that, so I just had to throw that in there. But
no, it's
overall experience was phenomenal. Like I have so the way I have it set up on my stream is say like I go somewhere and something I have like I walk around with this backpack all day, right? It's got like 4 modems and they're all connected. I probably got Wi-Fi cancer. Like I just have modems going through my back all day. And anytime I get somewhere where the signal cuts out or say my battery dies, I have break screens. So it's like visualize it like a commercial, right?
Yeah.
Well, now one of my big screens, like 3 or 4 of them, about 5-6 minutes of it is videos from Summernats and stuff we did. And every time that video comes on, everyone's like, "This is so sick. What is this?" Like for the people that missed it, and everyone's like, "Summernats, yeah, do it skid." You know, like the next time I come, it'll be. I think we're ahead about 1,500-1,600 people average at the time. Next time I'll be there, it'll be 4K easy.
Yeah, man.
It was an awesome experience. I'm sure a lot of people like seen something they've never seen before when we did those videos.
You just got I think you just got a V8 yourself, right, in the Land Cruiser, right?
Yep. 2009 200 series.
Yeah, man.
My game plan with that. I'm here on a tourist visa, not tourist visa, a working visa to promote tourism.
Yeah.
So my game plan is to take my vehicle around Highway 1 counterclockwise from like Harvey Bay, go up north, go all around Highway 1, so go up to like Cairns. I want to go to Cape York, then to Darwin, Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, get on the Spirit of Melbourne or Spirit of Tasmania, go down to Tas for a little while, come back, go up the East Coast. It'll take me like a year and a half. And I'm just going to live out of my crab and fishing and try to show everybody Australia while experiencing it for the first time. So it should be, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Honestly, like I think people, if they want to tune in and see that, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv. If you look up twitch.tv/TheRealShookOn3. But if you just type in, if you go to twitch.tv and search The Real Shook in the bar, it's the only one that pops up.
I think I speak for myself and the whole Summernats teammate saying it's a hell of a blast to have you on here, and certainly looking forward to seeing you at Summernats again.
Hey man,
next year, who knows?
I had a blast. I love hanging out with you guys. I met a lot of cool people. I feel like I made a lot of lifetime friends. Like I don't know how many times we talk. 2 times a week? Like
we're exactly right.
Made a lot.
Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. It's a blast having you on here, mate. We really appreciate your time. Me and everybody. Awesome.
Yeah, I had a good time. Yo, will you do me a favor real quick?
What's that, mate?
Make sure you have a dope day, mate.
I will, my brother. Thanks, mate. We'll be back after this skid break with Mark from StreetFX.
Skid ad.
This skid ad is brought to you by Burson Auto Parts. Mad.
All right, welcome back. Here with us is Mark Trueno, As I said in the introduction to the show, Mark's a giant online social media guy. He's got one of the biggest car communities going and most certainly lives his life going fast. What's happening, mate?
Mate, I'm just chilling out here in the warehouse. Just chatting to you guys. Just been waiting to have a chat because pretty much this year has just all turned to a little bit crazy. So this is as close to being out of the house as I've been in a little while. So
for everybody,
social distancing.
That's exactly right. Well, more than 1.5 meters apart.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with telling us about your online car community? I guess more than 10 million followers on Facebook and YouTube combined. No doubt you worked really hard to build that community, mate. And do you want to give us a bit of a rundown of how that works and how it all become?
Yeah, man. Well, look, we used to basically start as a company. All we did, we sold stickers, and literally Facebook. So we've been around for about 10 years, and Facebook was fairly new. And Facebook started with one customer, and it just grew from that. So we basically, all I did is everyone that had ever bought something from us, I emailed them and said, hey, join our Facebook page. And we started from that one person, and then it grew. And then when Facebook tried to take on YouTube with videos, they accelerated pages that had video content. So we separated a lot. So that's where we sort of got our jump, because Facebook back then was everyone just posted pictures. And then when they allowed you to start posting videos, we grabbed that and ran, and it just blew up. So it accelerated us from like 50,000 followers. I think actually the biggest jump we had was Current Affair had a feature of one of our stickers because of we had a picture of, like, it said cops don't like this with like a thumbs down or something. And that was one of our stickers, and it happened to be the title of a page called Hooning on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned the page on the news, and then all of a sudden we started getting all these followers. So we grew from like 5,000 to 50,000 all because of Tracy Grimshaw. So thanks, Tracy. You know,
she's done something good for the car scene. There you go.
Yeah. It's about the only bloody thing, mate.
So what about after that? I guess it sort of just stems from there.
Yeah, so then it sort of worked that I guess we kind of pivoted from being just making stickers and stuff to really fueling our passion for cars to, like, we got the opportunity to, we were wrapping vehicles and putting motorsport graphics on cars where we started. And then pretty much our entire friendship group started with social media, and, you know, we'd meet up with people at drift events, and because I used to do a lot of drifting back in the day. And then we went from drifting and went to different events and just sort of met everybody, that it just ended up blowing up to being more of a social media company than we still sell stickers, but it's not really our core business anymore. Now we get to go do a lot of event coverage, which is how I met you guys.
Yeah, totally. What drives that passion for cars? Where does that come from? Is that something when you're a kid?
Mate, I think it's the actual opposite from when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, my parents didn't want me in cars. Right. And every time they would leave, they would go away for a couple of days. I would find whatever money I would have, I'd go buy wheels. And like I had no taste whatsoever. I had a Corolla T18, which was the most expensive car I could afford at the time. And I used to go to Pick Apart, which I don't know if those places still exist these days, but there's probably similar things. So I used to go there, and I would just like take the bonnet vents off cars and double-sided tape them to the hood of my T18. I painted my drum brakes yellow because obviously everyone needed to know I had drum brakes. Yeah. So I had like stickers and bonnet vents on my cars that at 100 k's an hour, one of them flew off because the double-sided tape wasn't enough, hit the car behind me. So I had to go back to Pick Apart the next day, and then this time I drilled them into the bonnet. But I think it just sort of came because, when I was a kid, my parents were more into four-wheel drives and that, and I used to just try and play up by doing whatever they didn't want me to do. And that was automotive stuff. And I remember that they told me, you know, that they would help me buy my first car, or my first half-decent car anyway, if I got something sensible. And they were taking me to like the Hyundai dealerships where they had like a Hyundai Accent or something. And I ended up just going and saying, hey, look, I've found a car that I like. And they said, what is it? And I'm like, oh, it's called a Toyota MR2. And they were, what sort of car is that? I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a Corolla. just a two-door Corolla. Then I turned up in this Toyota MR2 thing, and my mum walked out of the house. She turned around, just walked back in, wouldn't speak to me, and she's like, "If you think I'm going to co-sign for that for insurance, you're laughing." And then we never talked about that much anymore. And then later on in life, I'd turn up to their house and take my mum for the drives in Lambos and all sorts of stuff. So they've come around a little bit. My dad, not so much. My mum's down for a little bit of fun in cars, at least.
Which leads to your pretty rad car collection, mate. What's in the garage, at the moment?
Well, I can't fit them all here, unfortunately. So I've actually had to move a couple of cars out just so I can sit down. So behind me, the story with the Supra actually is that I sold my first Supra to fund the starting of StreetFX to buy a sticker machine. So I sold the Supra for 30 grand. And then I bought a sticker machine for 30 grand or 40 grand or whatever it might have been. And that's what started StreetFX. So the one behind me is not the same car, but I ended up building it to look and basically be like the ultimate version of what I could have done if I hadn't been a broadcast with a $30,000 loan for a $20,000 car. Yeah. But yeah, so in the garage here, we've got the old Supra behind me. So it's a 1,000 horsepower or 900 odd horsepower. We've got an A90 Supra over to the other side. I don't know, if you want, I could sort of try and show you over there.
Give us a tour.
So we've got the A90, the A80 here, which you can see some shiny stuff in the engine bay.
Nice.
We've got the A90, which just had this carbon lip kit, and it's got a set of Yokohama Advan wheels.
Yeah.
And you can see other bits from my other cars. So there's an A86 bumper bar there. The A86 is off getting some work done.
Yeah.
A new lip kit put on the back of that. And then we've got this TCR style Hyundai i30N, which I know people might laugh, but this is probably one of the most fun cars that I've got. This thing's amazing. Like that, we took it to World Time Attack. And yeah, this did brilliantly at that. And here's another JZA80, which you can never have enough Supras. Anyone that tells you you've got too many Supras, just delete them from your life, mate. And then at the other shop, we've got an R35 GDR.
Yeah.
We've got a Toyota AE86 with an SR20 DET. It's getting some work done, like I said. We've got a Toyota 86, so the GT86 from 2012 that's got a 1,300 horsepower R35 GDR motor in it.
Wow, that must be nuts to drive.
Yeah, it doesn't like going in a straight line. So that's actually a pretty sketchy car to drive. It's got a 6-speed sequential out of a V8 supercar.
Yeah.
And we've also got bloody hell, I've forgotten what other cars I got. There's a few, mate. I don't know. The 35 GDR is the next big project we're doing, so we've got a surprise for that. We're probably aiming for, if we can get into the 7s in that, that's probably where we'll be looking. So we'll try and bring that along to put on the Haltech Horsepower Heroes and see how we go in that next year.
Yeah, wild.
But,
I was going to ask you quickly, like, I know you do a lot of media at Summernats, obviously. What's going through your head there? What do you like about the event?
Mate, it's probably one of the wildest sort of things to actually, like, it's one thing to see it on, because I'd seen it before, like in little video clips and stuff, but to actually be in the environment, it's just insane. Don't expect to go back without stinking like smoke. That's like all your clothes, that's pretty much they're a one-use thing after Summernats, especially if you've just had the opportunity to go in some of the Burnout cars. But the environment's probably the most wild thing that I've been to. Like what Jesse was saying, it's like when you're going in some of those cars, it's kind of like actually being at in a carnival ride, if nothing else. So.
Yeah, the wildest one you've ever been in, crazier than anything you'd find at a
mate, park. And on the Burnout pad and stuff is just absolutely. I made a video about it because showing some of the in-car and out-car and that, because to actually explain it to people, you just can't.
Yeah.
So, but it's absolutely something else.
It's something else to be there. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So if people don't follow you already, mate, where can they follow your stuff?
All right. So we've got StreetFX on Facebook. So it's just facebook.com/StreetFX. We've got the StreetFX Motorsport TV YouTube, which has just ticked over 100,000 subscribers. We've got twitch.tv/StreetFX as well, which is Jesse got me onto. So, Chook. because I knew nothing about that. I'm a bit of a Twitch backwards person. We've got Instagram as well, and I think I may have mentioned that. So it's StreetFX on Instagram also. But any social media, if you search us, we'll be there. I don't think I've ever posted anything on Twitter. I think I own a Twitter account, but I've never used it.
Yeah, I think there's enough. I think you've got enough coverage in the other spots, mate. So don't worry about it.
It's a difficult thing to keep up on top of.
I look forward to seeing you, mate, at Summernats again, hopefully in January.
Absolutely.
Well, take it easy, man, and keep those cars building.
Yeah, mate, man. There's never enough time for the amount of cars I've got. It's. I think a cocaine habit would be cheaper than a car habit.
Yeah, cars are, but they're probably the best thing on earth, right?
Yeah, mate. Bloody hell, absolutely. If you can't tell from around me, this is what I like to surround myself. There's a bedroom upstairs as well, so I can sleep up there. Sometimes I crash up there and just stare out over the cars.
Fair play. All right. Thanks for coming on, Mark. Appreciate it.
No worries,
See you,
buddy.
mate.
Have a good one.
All right.
Catch it.
Will do. We're going to cut to a skid break.
Skid ad.
This skid ad is brought to you by PPG. Skiddies.
All right, we're back. We're here with Burnout Video Royalty, Flinty 460, and Tyre Smasher, Mick Brasher. What's happening, guys?
Hey, how's it going there?
What's happening?
Not much, just a quiet one at home.
Yeah, there's been plenty of that over the last few weeks. It's all
Oh,
good.
my lawns are nice.
All right, so welcome, guys, and thanks, Peter. You're obviously better known as Flinty for your antics on the Burnout pad with the yellow XCU, but probably even more so for your filming, your pitch and filming. So you're quite removed from this whole Burnout scene in your day-to-day life. So tell me, how did you actually get into the whole Burnout thing?
Always had an interest in cars ever since I got my licence, and then just started going to events as a spectator, and I had an old Falcon that I took there as a bit of from some driving events, and then started filming from the stands, just something different. And about 10 years ago, I was introduced to Wild Mick over here. He used to run the Wild Boys, which was a huge club over here back in the day.
Yeah.
And he got me down on the track one year, very close to Peter Pike that used to run the Motorplex over here, and just filmed half a dozen of the Wild Boys cars. And then it just it started to snowball from there. I then got media for a couple of local shows, and then it was every show and every country comp. And I was doing that for probably 3 years, and the YouTube channel didn't really do much in that time, but there was plenty of content going up. And then one year I was actually overseas in Singapore, and I got a message from the crew at Street Machine asking if I wanted to come to Summernats and help out with the filming. And I couldn't say yes quick enough.
Exactly.
Huge opportunity. And Scotty and Telford at Street Machine have been a huge supporter for me. And I look forward to that phone call end of November, early December saying, "Are you coming? Yep, absolutely. Book me in. So I've done the last 7 Summernats. Stand pad side. The last 2 years have been hard work in a fire suit, but it's got to be done. It's all about safety. So no, man, I get the best platinum pass in the event, just without the seat or the shades. So.
Yeah, but you're right up close to the action, as you'll see here very shortly.
Yeah.
We're actually having a show on May the 12th. It's going to be the hottest 100 skids, and that's going to be on real soon. But I'd like to know what your 3 favourite skids are and why you chose them.
Yeah, that was a hard choice when I was asked that one. But
yes.
There's a few that come to mind. The first one was I think I've actually put it on my channel as one of my favourites. Was Dave Shaw's brutal 1-tonner. I could go back and watch that now, and it still gives me goosebumps just thinking how loud and savage that thing was on the pad. It was just unreal. Haven't seen it many times since then, but if you get a chance, turn the volume up and listen to this big block scream. But that was awesome. We've
got that running just as we're talking over it now, and we're also probably up to Unwanted now. That was your second favourite? Yeah. Unwanted, been around for a number of years. Matt James obviously bought the car and rebuilt it, and had a few fires, but nothing like what we'd seen at Summernats this year. And just absolutely set everything on fire. The car, the pad, the wall, you name it, everything was burnt. You watch the footage and you see the fire. It was amazing how good these fire suits are. This was probably a year or two. This was a couple of years before we had the requirement for fire suits, and one of the fire crew had actually taken. They've got their own photographer down on the pad, and she managed to take a photo at the time, and has caught me in the photo, and I've got all these flames around me. At the time, that was really cool, but thinking back on it, Jesus, it was interesting. So I'm glad we're in a fire suit now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's done really well, hey. Like with the compact V8 and this car, he's unreal, isn't he? Oh, amazing cars. Just no mechanical sympathy whatsoever. Just foot down, off it goes. Big block, small block, they just scream. And can see why he's won so many events. And drive, unreal, amazing driver. Amazing driver. But even the finish in those vehicles, like the compact, we even unveiled that when it was new. That's how good it was. Yeah, show quality. First class. And you'd see a car like that get unveiled and you think, wow, he's actually going to go out there and... everybody said that when you unveiled it.
What do you love more, Flinty? Do you love smashing tyres or being behind the camera? Or both? Smashing tyres.
Yeah, of course.
It's actually cheaper to stand behind the camera, put it that way.
All right, mate. So... obviously, I actually suspected that you probably would have had one of Lynch's in here, and you had 2 or 3 to choose from, but you've gone with the one from this year, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so hard to pick. I mean, every time I'd pay the price of admission just to go and watch Lynchy skid. It's just unreal. And then you get to talk to him after the event, and it's just first class. But
he's on next week's show, so that should be cool.
Oh, awesome! Oh, good. Yeah. I'm a big fan.
All right, mate. We're going to actually going to run that now. So we'll run that whole one of Lynchy skid there. So roll the tape there, Jack.
Summernats, make some noise. Where's the Lynchy band? Lynchy Lynch about to come our way out of Victoria. This man, well, he skidded in the US, he skidded in New Zealand, he skidded here in his homeland.
That's an awesome choice there, Flinty. I tell you, he's just crazy, isn't he?
He is.
He's actually going to be on next week, so yeah, looking forward to that.
Awesome. I'll be watching.
Yeah, I bet. Mate, you also run your own event over there, is that right, in WA?
Yeah. So a few years ago, I got to know Chris Orchard, known as Ballistic over here. Got to be good mates with him, and he approached me one year after getting kicked out of an event. I won't say which one, but anyway, we just started talking about putting a show on. So we ran our first West Coast Nats down at the Collie Motorplex where Gaznats used to run, and that was, apart from being a stinking hot day, it was a good first time out, a great learning experience for us. We then got the opportunity to run 2 years at Barbagallo Raceway, and that was really good. Unfortunately, we had issues with timing and event dates. The dates they wanted, we didn't want to use and whatnot. So we've been talking with the Perth Motorplex for a while, and we managed to run a show last year, and that was a huge success. And we were just about to announce our date for this year's show, and the world turned to crap. So we're on hold at the moment, but we managed to put last year's show together in 8 weeks. So as soon as we get the go ahead, we're back out there. We can't wait to get out there and smash some tyres and put on a show for everyone.
Yeah.
You look like you're waiting in the Burnout lineup there, Brasher.
I am. I'm waiting.
He is. That's right. We're about to get to. I've got one more.
He's eager to hit the pad. He's eager to hit the pad.
One more.
One more question.
Aren't we all?
That's right. 100%.
Actually, the beauty of running events in WA is I just can't believe how many guys are in the Burnouts over there. There's so many entrants, isn't there?
Oh, it's huge. You could almost just run a Burnout comp for the whole day, but you've got to give them something different. You've got to give the crowd something different. So we've got Cruise the Track. Yeah. The Burnout demos we put on over here, we had Flinty and 9 other guys come over from East, and they were blown away. We just get out there, smash tyres, and they had a ball. Yeah. And then we still had a full Burnout comp, and it was a huge day.
When things were really rocking over there with the mining and that, I done a couple of Gaznats, and I think I counted at one event 50 blowers. Like it was just on carpet.
Yeah. One of the Gaznats, I think it might have been more than that. I think it was 60 plus from memory. It was just a huge night, and it's not uncommon to get 30 plus blown cars over here. Yeah. Even without interstate cars coming over. There's plenty of them around. So,
all right, mate. I really appreciate that. Hang around there. Mick's just champing a bit, so I need to get him.
He's waiting.
I've got to get to bed.
He's very patient. He's very patient.
He's got the car started. He's waiting.
Betsy's saying Mick Brasher's patient. So there you go. All right, mate. Hey, you're really good. So I want to know, firstly, your first memory of Summernats, and what event was it?
My first memory, I was only a kid. My first memory would have been maybe Summernats 9 or 10. I took down my 2-door LC Tirana with a small box Chev in it. We took a shitload of tyres, smashed every set on the cruise route.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you're not supposed to.
Yeah, of course.
I entered the Burnout comp. Done no good. Went back up to where the horse stables were and finished off the tyres and put it on the trailer and drove home.
and then got kicked out.
I didn't get kicked out that year, no. No, it's been good.
That's funny. And so where was your first, real burnout? When did you do your first competition burnout? Do you remember?
I'm glad you said competition, not...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think the first one probably would have been about 25 years ago, Newcastle Speedway.
Yeah, I remember that.
It all started there. It was on a regular basis, and I ended up getting there as I was a bit of a bad boy back in the day, and I got my car confiscated for doing it on the street. So I've learnt from them and only do it at the proper places now.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Mate, I've heard you've got a bit of a stable there of Corollas. How many you got?
I had about 12 Corollas. Wayne Harris, who was just as on, that's one of my old cars.
Okay.
From Darwin. I sold that to a good mate of mine, Nick, in which he off-sold it to Wayne up in Darwin. But I've got 8 left. Most of them don't go. I had a big block in it, small block, little 4-cylinder. I was back in the day, I was into the two-door Tiranas, and Linda was into the, me and Linda been together for 30 years, and her first car was a KE20.
Yeah, right.
So we had 10 acres when we first met, and we had paddocks full of two-door Tiranas and Corollas, and I was working night shift at this time, and I got home late, or actually I got home early in the morning. I went, geez, it looks a bit funny from, because I did a double shift. I said, it looks a bit funny. She told me she's having a bit of a clean-up. She paid the local scrappo guy to come up and get rid of all my two-door LJ Tiranas. I had seven of them. The bitch. She got her own way, so that's why it didn't bother me back then. Like, they didn't really mean much to me, but now,
look
what are they worth now?
Yeah.
That's why I got KE20 Corollas.
That's funny.
That's why I got KE20s. I'd rather much have the LC and the LJs, but the old KEs are in the stables now.
Hey, mate, and they've done well for you.
So they have.
They're probably I-beams now in houses somewhere or something. You don't know.
I've got a few in there, eh?
Hey, mate, you've 10 acre. I thought you lived in a property. You got your own burnout pad on that?
I got my own burnout pad.
Yeah, I reckon you would. That's what I would have thought. I bet you've had some wild times there.
Oh, I've had a shitload of wild times up here. It was so hard. I had it choreographed to do a bit of a video, and it was so hard trying to test and tune my own car. And then I probably invited 10 or 15 mates up. They end up being about 200, come up to the housewarming party. By Friday afternoon, the paddock was full of motorhomes, trucks, trailers, tents, swags. We smashed shitloads of tyres that weekend. I had a mate from Newcastle, AJ, come up and film it from out of a helicopter. I hired a helicopter out of Newcastle to fly up.
As you do.
That video went viral, as everyone would have seen it.
Yeah.
The following year, it was Lynn's 40th, and she said, what are we going to do? And I said, well, there's only one way us Aussies know how to party.
Burnout party.
So it was another reason to celebrate and smash tyres. So I ended up having 22 cars come up that year. Wow. It rained the day before. It rained on the day, but, yeah, we had a ball of a time, yeah. I had a lot of good, tough cars, and I've made a lot of good memories. Yeah. The cars that come up on the day, like on the second one, we had Gary and Jake and Deb come up, Tony De La Vera, Toothy, Outlaw, McNeil, mate, Tamara the Dunt, and Dave Pendlebury. Oh, Toothy. We had a heap of the Hate Tread crew, the Tyre Militia guys. You know, my shed, I'm anal on. I trust nobody. I left my shed open. There was only one fight that weekend. It was my missus and my sister. There was one thing broken, and we had a pot plant broken. It was my youngest daughter hit it on the bloody golf buggy. We've had a blast up here. I know another time one of the Speedflow boys come out on one Sunday arvo. They wanted to test their car. Yep. And tell you what, they fired it up. They done one quick burnout. It woke the whole lot of Taree up, bro. I live on a hill, and it rocked the valley. It was freaking awesome.
That older though, it's a pretty.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I think that was between that and Benny Circle's car would be the loudest cars I've had up here.
How do they go with it? They're all right.
Look, my neighbours are cool. The first party, I give them $200 to go away for the weekend to get a motel. And next thing I see them at 8 o'clock at night when we're doing a bit of a party presentation, and they're sucking on VBs and eating pavlova.
Yeah, very happy.
So, mate, is that how you actually got into your own events, Brasher?
Well, I had Tubby and Nathan Owen's place and a few other Queensland boys come down for the first party, and they were banging Brasher stickers on cars. Yeah, right. And that's how the name come to it, Brasher, yeah.
Yeah, now you've done
a bit
Darwin.
Of a funny story, yeah.
You've done Darwin, you've done Eastern, and you're obviously a really successful event at Eastern Creek.
We do a really good show in Sydney. We've done 10 shows already, 3 in Darwin, and the rest at Sydney Dragway. Over the last 10 years, probably 10 years ago in our lives, everything revolved around burnouts. Getting the car ready, who we talking to, where we going, to the next event. I lived and breathed and thought, you know what, stuff it. I'm going to run my own event, my own show. And that's what we did. Lynn and I and the girls, yeah. It's easy when the family love it.
Yeah.
As much as I do. It makes it easy.
Yeah, no, Linda's absolutely.
Except pack up time when it's time to unload the trailer. They all just bolt. I've got to wash my hair. I've got to get ready for school. I've got to do. Yeah.
That's good, mate.
I'm blessed to have such a good family.
Yeah, and you're right.
What's the pressure like? What's the pressure like to do a burnout at your own event? Is the pressure big then?
Oh, very big, very big. I've busted 2 engines at my own event. It's bad. Very bad.
Mate, so you talk of that you're living and breathing burnouts. What do you do away from
What do I do away from burnouts?
Yeah, like work.
I haven't worked in a couple of months now. I've just taken time out. I've been wanting to watch a few Netflix movies and waiting for the next tunnel. I just finished doing Pennant Hills Road Tunnel.
Oh, good.
I was down there for 14, 15 months, and now we've just got another contract to do M4, M5 tunnel. So I'll be back tying Rio for 18 months.
Yeah, good.
When I come home, me and Lynn like to eat. We like to go out for dinner, the finer things in life, and play with me. Oh, we go to Foster and Port Macquarie. We duck down to Harry's. Look, I've got 5 acres up here. It's nice and mowed and manicured. We run amok. The girls make their own little bloody YouTube videos, and time flies, and we just have a ball up here.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You're fixing you must be fixing all the roads and tunnels so you can get quicker down to Canberra, right? Fixing
I think so, yeah. Listen, I can't wait. When that Pennant Hills Road opens, I can't wait. It's just going to be, fix that shit up.
I've just had a voice in my mic to ask you if you been watching El Chapo since you love a tunnel.
El Chapo, I've watched all of it.
They're pretty cool, eh? I've been watching them too.
I love it.
Hey, I was watching them in Colombia, mate. That was even more crazy when I was over there.
If the coppers come back, if the coppers come to my house and got onto my YouTube, they must think I'm a bloody druggo. Every druggo movie I've watched.
Hey, listen. More importantly, in Summernats 27.
Summernats 27.
You actually won Burnout Masters in Grandma's white Corolla.
Oh, I did.
So tell us a little bit about that. How'd you feel? How'd the whole thing feel?
How did it feel? It was awesome to win it. It was awesome to win in the Burnout Masters. Like, I won the money. We won the holiday to Malaysia. So I'm not sure if everyone knows. Summernats took half a dozen guys over there and with their families, and we holidayed over there for a week. We went to Summernats, Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. We tripped around on bus trips and sightseeing, and it was awesome just to go over and drive other people's cars, which the main guy over there, he had 30 or 40 cars. We just drove around, and, freaking awesome time. But for me, my pinnacle win would be Summernats 23 in the normal class.
Really?
Probably the best for me because it was just in the normal class. As a kid, for me, the Masters wasn't around back then.
Yeah, okay.
It was the normal class, and there was it was probably like 500 or 600 people competing just to get into the top 50 or 100, and to win that one blew me away.
That's really cool. I also had a look today, and I've seen it before, but I had another look today at you in the States with Lynchy at Hoonigan. That must have been awesome.
Yeah, I must be a bit older, because I didn't really know much about Hoonigan. But when I got there, I just went, this is I'm in paradise. Oh, it was crazy. Poor Gup from Power Cruise, he was just there going, no, don't give it that many revs. You're going to break it.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Yes.
Awesome for Power Cruise for taking us over there, Just unbelievable. Yeah. Perfect.
All right, mate, got to wrap up. So tell me, what's in the future? Yes. What's in the coming up for
listen.
Mad Nick?
I got something in the pipeline. Not many people know.
We've only got a few people listening here, so just you can tell us.
This is an exclusive.
Your Eagles getting another new look. You know, I got ADHD, and I got to keep. I even built a spray booth in my shed over Christmas because I've got that many ideas I want to do. It's going to get a new look. It's going to get a new heart. It will shock some. It will excite others, and a lot will. Well, not a lot. I think some might hate it. It's getting a supercharged 13B rotary in it as we speak.
Oh, wow, there you go.
So I'm going to.
Will we see it at Summernats 34?
We will. Yes, we will.
2021.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's down at JC Racing in Sydney.
Yep.
It's just about finished, and I can't wait to hear this thing. And Johnny's so excited. It's just going to be ear piercing and. see what we can pull out of this thing.
I have no doubt you asked him to make it rev.
Let's we've done all the homework.
We need to upgrade the monster taco to have a bit more on the end of the needle, or what's the go?
No monster taco. I've got the perfect place to test it here, so I feel sorry for my neighbours. But yeah, it's probably going to cost me a few bucks to send them away for the weekend, but I can't wait.
It sounds like Flinty. It sounds like he might make your next year's top 3, I reckon.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to this thing.
Yeah, me too. That's
Bring
awesome.
the noise, Nick.
Some new earphones, Flinty.
Bring the noise.
Four podcasts in, Webby, and look at the exclusives that are dropping now. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's killer.
That's cool.
Yeah, Mick Brasher driving a Rotary. No way. What's going on?
All right, guys. Look, I really appreciate your time and thanks, and really great having both of you guys on, so appreciate it.
Cheers.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Sweet. Let's roll to a skid break, Jack. Thanks, mate.
Skid ad.
This skid ad is brought to you by Shannon's Motoring Insurance. How mad are skids?
Skid ad.
This skid ad is brought to you by Maguire's.
How mad is that in the skid break? Red Summernats pumping skids. The word is that event is still happening on Father's Day in NT, so the planning is still going full steam ahead. So isn't that exciting, Webby?
It is, mate. I only heard that this week. I couldn't believe it, but it's one of my favourite events. So yeah,
and I can't wait to go there and get my camera and walk around and talk to everyone and see what's going on. I'm really excited for that. Losing proper sleep. We're back. We're back now with our competition. This week we've got 2 Haltech hoodies to give away. Owen, spin it away, mate.
All right. I've actually got a really simple question because I want to know who was the first Summernats grand champion.
Oh.
So if you know, or you think you know, as I say every week, get your answers to podcast@summernats.com.au.
I think simple, but I think not so simple. I think people,
Well, there's been 33, so there you go.
Yeah, indeed. All right, you know him by his name, Marv. He's here. What's happening, mate?
G'day, guys. How's it going?
Very good, mate.
Well, who's the first Summernats Grand Champion? You test the memory banks with that one, Webby. It's because all the cars kind of blend all together, and it's like all the names, and was it the VL or was it the VK or was it the LX or was it the XB? Was it Astle? Was it all these names of Macbeth, names from the past that come back? Muddle up your brain stew.
Yeah,
I can still remember, so there you go.
Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, Webby's been sort of like, you've been a central tenant of Summernats for all those years, mate.
You got it.
He's got a little. He lives there all the time. Doesn't move.
I think I'd be shocked I reckon if I went to Epic in like June or September or sometime like that, and I didn't see you wandering around there, Webby, I wouldn't believe that I was in Canberra.
There you go.
Is that your rant? What's your rant, mate? Is that the rant?
Look, I thought I was going to rant about panel gapping. So, Webby, you're a body man from way back, and I'm sure that gapping panels on old cars would rank up there in pleasurable things to do, along with drilling a third nostril in your own head. I was sure that was going to be the low light of my week, was putting the whole front of my car back together, and American cars in the 60s weren't built that well. Shock horror. Yep. And you've got to you put your knee into it and you're kind of bending the guard and you got to force the thing in there and it doesn't go, and knock your beer over, bloody hell, kick the dog off, get out of here. I thought that was going to be the worst thing that happened, but no, I drove back down to Sydney, and we live in the inner city and live in a big tower, and I was reminded today of what an absolute pain in the rear end all those blokes driving around in late model Beamers and Audis and Volkswagens and stuff that have the farty gear changes. What the hell is that about? Like, I thought like manufacturers were meant to put a lot of effort into making their cars sound good. No, instead you hear this. We're on a hill, so we got about every 10 meters is a speed hump, and of course, every backwards cat boy racer chutch in a Golf R has to do 0 to 100 tests in between each bloody speed hump. So all you hear is all through the day is like, oh, great, there goes another person who looks up to Eminem for spiritual guidance. It's just like, guys, think if you're driving around in one of these chutchmobiles, just stop for a second and have a think about the people who have to listen to you flops drive around our suburbs making these farty noises. Like, maybe come down to Summernats and listen to the fine concerto that is a supercharged big block V8. That's a good noise.
At 8,000 RPM.
Yeah, there is never a bad time to hear a big inch pushrod V8. Even Coyotes sound great. The quad cam V8s, they sound bloody beautiful. But oh man, these fart boxes, and I don't mind the sound of the XR6 turbo and the F6 in the fart noise though, with the ZF box. I tell you what, when the sixes get loaded up, it's I don't reckon it's the sixes, because even the AMG V8s, they sound pretty good. I don't know how AMG even gets those things legal, because they are loud.
Yeah, they are.
But it's the four bangers. I'd rather listen to a dozen Suzuki Swifts with 5-inch mufflers. I never thought I'd say that. I was always the guy laughing at the auto salon cars back in the day. So I was just like, you got a 2-litre engine with a 10-litre exhaust system. But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
They sound so much better than these other things.
I remember I stayed at Brighton once at the Novotel, and overnight my wife's like, what's that noise going around? That fart noise. And I said, that's the Volkswagens, mate, farting around. All right, you want to do some giveaways, Marv?
Yeah. So we've got three single season passes to give away. So Grima Racing, Tim Love, and Danny Hallam, congratulations. You won yourselves each a single season pass.
Awesome.
But the big winner, who gets DOS season passes plus a Street Machine merch pack, James B. So that is James B, you have won yourself a stack of sweet Street Machine swag, as the kids would say, while they're driving around in their fart boxes. And you've also won a pair of season passes to the next Summernats.
Mad. Awesome. Thanks for your rant, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries, guys.
Thanks,
I'm going to go back to gapping panels now.
Awesome.
Awesome, mate. We'll see you soon.
I'll be checking them out for you.
I'll have his feeler gauges out, his plastic ones.
You got it.
Thanks, Marv. See you, mate.
See you guys.
Bye, mate. What do you use, Webby? What's it called to test the gaps in the panels?
Usually, if you're actually building the car, you actually make a plastic, just a plastic piece of plastic with it might be 3 mil, and just run that around the gaps. So at least you got something to go around. It's all the same all the way around.
Do you do that when you buy a brand new car and bring it home for the wife? And you go and gap it all nice, or don't worry?
No, but I definitely get a bit of a revving up about that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So how good was that, mate? That was great. Some good guests on, mate.
That was really good. I mean, everybody was awesome, but wasn't that really cool to hear what Brasher was doing? I can't wait to hear that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the passion of Flinty that he shows through all his media that he does. And he's a skid guy himself, and Mark with his his crazy car collection and building that car community, and Jesse with his crazy going around. What a mix! What a mix!
What's really good about this that as you know, we're both in the car scene, but you learn, we're interviewing these guys, but I'm learning stuff every week. It's really great.
Absolutely, 100%.
Really good.
100%. We really want to. So just to cut to our cool section, we really want to see you guys send in some videos and pics, obviously, and see what everybody's up to during the week while you're stuck in isolation. Obviously, you're going to be working on your car, covered in grease or something else, because there's not much else to do on the weekend at the moment. The pubs are shut, so we're stuck at home. So we've got to do that kind of stuff. There's a hashtag we've created called Write It Out. We've received a picture during the week. I believe that's going to flash up now. If you've got some, absolutely. If you've got some pics that you want to send us, send it to podcast@summernats.com.au, and we'll stick them on Facebook, or we might even stick them on our Instagram, or we'll feature them obviously in this video as well. Oh, and I'm talking about punters' cars. I believe you've picked some out from some of the events that are coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Every week we grab an entrant from one of our events. So first up, at Red Summernats, and as you said, looks like it's going to be on Father's Day.
Oh, mate, I'm super keen.
Yeah, we've got entrant 247, Christine Jackson, and she's got a 66 Triumph Spitfire Coupe. And that's one thing I really love about Red Centre, is that the variety of vehicles. So it's a really cool little car there of Christine's. For Motor X, but entrant 51, Joe Kanata with his Liner Mint 71 LC Tirana. That's absolutely, looks like the photo's awesomely restored, and that'll obviously be in the muscle car section. And then for Summernats, we've got George Anthony from Cooma. He's got a 69 Fastback Mustang. He's been quite a few years in the build this car, and we'll be unveiling that car. And people will remember George's. He had an XB Pro Street Falcon back in the late 80s with a heavily graphic. So been a great car guy for many, many years. So really looking forward to seeing George's new car. And then for Rocky Nats, got entrant 143, Mark Grates with a 59 Chev Apache pickup. Man, I just love these US trucks. So I can't wait to see this. And it's got a big block, and really looking forward to seeing it in action up at Rocky. That's Easter next year.
I tell you what, for utes that get bashed around, those guys do those utes up within an inch of their life. Like, aren't they smick?
Absolutely, and I love the US trucks. So keep those entries coming in. We may feature you next week, but better still, you're going to be guaranteed a spot at one of our 4 of our biggest events on the
absolutely. And you know what, this podcast, I guess, in a sense, plays onto all these events. We want you guys, if you're out there watching, to share and get this out there. I mean, look at who we had on tonight. It's absolute superstars of the car scene and stuff. So in terms of promoting this podcast and getting it out there, it's all for you guys. Every week we want to try and bring bigger and better guests, and and keep it going strong. Also, don't forget, in saying that, Summernats 2021 tickets and entries are on sale now. I certainly am looking forward to January. Webby, how about you, mate?
Mate, it'll be worth just to see Brasher, the price of admission, just to see him and hear him.
That is a true bomb to be dropped today, right?
Yeah, I'm absolutely blown away.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. On a serious note, we want to say, as we always do at the end of this podcast, to reach out to your buddies. Make sure you contact them, video call them. Send a pigeon around with a love letter, or whatever you got to do just to keep in contact and keep your buddies smiling. That is super important in times like this, that people know you're out there and they know you're thinking about them as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Just before we go, I told at the start we'd give an exclusive on the Burnout Masters game. The new Burnout Masters game will drop to the update. Sorry, will drop tomorrow on both on Google for Apple and Android product on app stores. And featured in the game will be 3 of the biggest Burnout cars, obviously going around. And that's Full On, which is Summernats 33 Burnout Master, LS1 Summernats 33 Burnout Champion, and front back a legendary Burnout Master as well. Plus, in the game is added as a new car model with 3 alternating versions. A new level, you can tear up a warehouse, you can free roam and drive around and do heaps of burnouts, as well as there's expanded garage size tilt steering, which is going to be really cool new mode, and camera mode enhancements and more. So make sure you get on the app stores and get the Burnout Masters game. You can't do burnouts at home or at events at the moment, so we can do them on our phone. I'm sure Webby, you'll be doing that straight away. You must have the app already, mate, eh? You got the exclusive.
I got the exclusive, mate.
Perfect. Thanks, Webby. Appreciate it, mate. It's been great.
It's been a great night. Thanks, Josh.
No worries, mate. All right, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Cheers.
In podcast 5, we have crowd favourite Lynchy, Matt Watts, Summernats 33 Burnout Masters champion Rick Fuller. We've also got Marv from Street Machine and heaps of stuff to give away. Join Webby and I and these mad guests next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m.